welcome to another episode of Behind the Brush, where we dive into the Southwest Florida art scene. And I'm your host, Rick Vasky, and along with me, always, Cesar Aguilera. And Cesar, we are about to paint it on once again.
Yeah, this is another Gray in Paradise, and we have a very special guest today, Devon Morreale Parker.
Did you get that right? Because I don't know if I would have got it right. Devon Morreale Parker? Did I say it?
Close enough.
Awesome. You know, Devon, like I was telling you a little bit before, we've had so many great people here in the studio, a lot of great artists, and then we took a time out. So you can still go back and check out some of our great interviews that we've had with great local artists. Danielle Burchard was here. We've had Brian Weaver. We've had Bradford Herman on the show. And then people were like, what happened? You guys had to take a break. But we are back because we were trying to get this all put on and put out on the Apple Podcast. It's out on anywhere you actually download and listen to your podcast. I use the Spotify. It's up on that and so many other platforms. So we are happy to have Behind the Brush out there. Thanks to Podcast Playground and all the fine people over there that do all of our great editing. And you can get it all at beyondthebrush.art. That's our brand new website, which also is a digital gallery. It is a map to all of the institutions, all of the galleries, and you can look into some of the great local artists. Their full bio is there, and a link to their interviews, as well as you can shop online. So that's my plug right there for everything that we've been having going on for the last almost 4 to 6 weeks. And thanks for joining us. So find us wherever you are. Follow us however you would like to. And now back to our great guest, Devon. Thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations. Because I think I've known you for a little while now, and now you've stepped into a brand new role at the Sidney Berne Davis Art Center as the executive director.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It is a newer role for me. I've been the assistant director of the Art Center for 14 years. We'll go with 14 years.
Wow, 14 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. And so then when our founder, Jim Griffith, got a new position and moved to Santa Fe, I became interim director, and then in the spring they made me the permanent executive director. So
congratulations, and very well deserved.
Well, thank you.
And so let's go back to even before that, of the 14 years that you've been there at the Art Center, and where are you from?
So I'm actually from here. I am one of the rare multi-generational Fort Myers natives. So technically third generation from Fort Myers. My mom's side came at the turn of the century to the creche in Unity.
Wow.
And lived there for a little while until they discovered it really wasn't quite the utopian community it was being purported. And so they've been here ever since. I did have a stint where I didn't live here when I was getting my degree in college, lived and worked away for a few years, got my master's degree, and then I moved back because I missed Florida.
Yeah. And now you got a great life here.
I do.
With 2 beautiful children as well.
I do. Yeah, I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and so we're very busy. Actually, getting ready to go to a soccer practice that my husband's coaching after this. So yeah.
That's great. Well, thanks for making time for us there. And Cesar, I know you had something just a little bit more, because you also are the curator at the Sidney Berne Davis Art Center. So you guys have a great relationship and working relationship already. But I'm sure there's things that are just on the top of your mind that are like, you know what? While I got you sitting down, I've always wondered.
Yeah, there's many questions, but one that always comes to mind is, as a third-generation Southwest Florida native, how has the region shaped your relationship with art and culture? And also, what's been a pivotal moment in your career that influenced the way that you live today?
Okay. Well, so I will say, growing up in Southwest Florida was wonderful. I went to great schools. I had great teachers, but there was one teacher in high school that really fostered my love of the arts through art history. My master's is in art history, so I'm not an artist. I'll say that first and foremost. I love art, but I am not an artist. So it felt a little weird when you're like, hey, beyond the brush. Like, well, I don't do anything.
But you do.
Yeah.
You're involved in
Yes.
it, and you've seen so much change in the art,
Yeah.
and you're very actually influential in it for the artists because you're so helpful and supportive.
Well, thank you.
And we all are artists, actually,
Yes.
in life.
But so I grew up in a wonderful area, but we didn't have a ton of arts around. So it was mostly all of the arts experiences through school, and then this one teacher who really fostered my love of art history that kind of propelled me down that road. And I mean, when I was growing up, downtown was dead. You only went downtown for a few special event nights a year, and you know, there was nothing to do after 5 p.m. You know, the sidewalks kind of rolled up after 5 p.m.
Yeah.
It was really dead. And so moved away for college and I got my degree at from University of North Florida, and I lived in Jacksonville for a few years, and they had an art walk there, which was really exciting. And then I went and got my master's in art history from University of Arizona, and I did not like the desert that much.
Well, yeah, it's hot and dry.
It felt like every time you would open the door that you were slowly being baked. So I definitely wanted to come back to Florida. And I actually, while I was working on my master's, I met Jim through a family friend. And he had just started the art center. I think it was 2009, 2010. And I said, I'm coming back while I'm working on my master's. Do you need an intern? And he's like, sure, I'd love an intern. So I came back that summer, interned for him. I wrote grants. I did whatever programming he would let me do. I did marketing for him. Basically anything. Like, I was like, hey, give me a project. And so he kept giving me projects, and we stayed in touch. And then I finished my degree, and I moved back to Florida. And I told him I was back in town, and he was like, would you like to work part-time for the art center? I said, sure. And so about 2 weeks into me working part-time, he asked if I wanted to work full-time, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah, he was such a great individual.
Yeah.
I mean, he really made an amazing impact and just kept pushing forward the entire thing. I mean, the city and all the funding that's gone behind it, it's not easy.
Oh, no, it's definitely not. And it's just sheer tenacity, I think, that the arts have kind of taken off downtown between the art center, Florida Rep, the CRA doing their streetscape. Everything kind of fell into place to really make downtown have a renaissance, which it has. So
how does it feel to step into the shoes of Jim after, because he did, I mean, he really grew it, and I would say it's probably some big shoes, because he was also a big part of the symphony, and he had great connections just throughout the city. A lot of people respected him. So how do you feel in those shoes, and is it going well?
It's big shoes to fill, for sure. And it's funny, I always joke around. So Jim was 6'1", and I'm 5'1", so there's a large disparity there. And I always say there's big shoes to fill. But I working with him for so many years, I have gotten to be a part of a lot of everything, but it's mostly been behind the scenes. So while a lot of the integral stuff that happened, I was there, I just was behind the scenes doing stuff. So that part is exciting, but it is a little bit daunting to come into that. And of course, I didn't see it coming that he would be leaving, so that was certainly a shock. I will say his connections, something that makes the Art Center so unique is the fact that our musical programming is so strong for such a small venue. Mm-hmm. And it's due to his connections and his Juilliard training. And so to preserve that, we actually have kind of split the position to have an artistic director now. So we have an artistic director that's advising on all of those performers that are coming in and helping us find the right people. And so that's exciting because that's not my area of expertise. So, and I didn't want to see that suffer.
Yeah, that's great. Is there anything that you were thinking? Because I know you had some time with Jim as well there. And I've known, I've been down here 18 years and did a lot of the events for downtown Fort Myers. And I've crossed many paths with him. He was always just such a great part of it.
Yeah, I've been very lucky to be part of the team for, I think, about 6 years now.
Something like that.
Yeah, so I've seen all the highs, some of the lows, but it's on and all, it's been a great team to work with. So I love to see the way you've been leading the play, just keeping the spirit going. But some of the questions I have, especially now that we're going through crazy times with government, it's what are the biggest lessons you learned in leading this art institution?
I guess the biggest thing is trying to create a spirit of resiliency and creativity in how you lead too, because nothing is guaranteed. You can't look and say, oh, well, we always have this definite source of funding, and then we could have a pandemic, or grants could be cut in certain ways. So it's just really trying to be as resourceful as possible and think on your feet. And also creating a very collaborative environment, because I think that that's one of the things that makes the Art Center so successful is we are so collaborative. Everyone on our team has different strengths, and so we constantly are drawing on each other's strengths. And so that's what makes it a special place, I think. So.
Definitely.
Over the years, I mean, I've been to so many great events there, so many things. They even just the art of couture, and then that was the art walks the runway for 10 years, and there's the dark arts. There's so many great staples that you guys are. And you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. What's your favorite though? What's your favorite?
I don't want it to seem like a cop-out or like the political answer, but we do so many amazing things, and they're all so different. It's really hard to pick one favorite thing. I will say our bluegrass series is special. I just love bluegrass music in general, and so I love that series. I really enjoyed working on Edge of Co-Chair with you this year, Cesar. It was really fun. and growing it in a different direction.
Yes.
When we were doing Art Walks One Way, it was great, but trying to inspire and do something a little bit different was really cool. I also am really enjoying seeing our relationship grow with the Lee County school system. We're doing more and more projects with them, and I love seeing that relationship grow, because that's how my start in the arts was through the Lee County school system. So I want to see our students get involved, get inspired, and really take it to the next level.
Yeah, and I like the relationship through the years too that have developed for a lot of the nonprofit fundraising that goes on with the Festival of Trees, and there's plenty. The art, the Cooking with the Arts, phenomenal. I mean, can you name some of the great nonprofits that you've partnered with?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a laundry list of people. But no, I'm really excited. We've collaborated with, of course, the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools and the school system, Goodwill Industries of Southwest Florida, Ghost Bird Theater. They actually do the 24-hour festival with us, and they early on in their infancy, we presented all of their shows at the Art Center, and then they started doing more site-specific work, so that was exciting. Gulf Coast Leisure does art and poetry with us as a partner event.
Yeah.
Of course, we're partnered with the Fort Myers Film Festival, which is happening right now at the Art Center.
It is.
And we're also looking for ways to continue to grow our relationship with all of the other arts institutions. So I'm excited to connect with some of there's a lot of new directors in town. So we're working on getting together. And
next week, Neil from the Alliance for the Arts will be sitting in the seat you're sitting in, and we'll be talking to him.
And you got to get Juan Santiago, because he was just announced as director of Art Fest. So
perfect.
Yeah.
So it's a great change too. I like to see good change. Neil personally is from my hometown of Cincinnati, so that's exciting to see.
Did you guys know each other beforehand?
No,
or no?
I went and did one of the F-Up nights at Alliance, and I had to tell my story, and I got off stage, and he was like, oh my God, I used to listen to you on the radio when I... So that was pretty interesting to hear all of that. But, speaking of which, though, I'm from a larger market, a bigger city. where there's Blink and there's these massive art festivals and these huge murals that are going on. How do you feel that the actual progression, because I've already seen a lot of change that's happened in Fort Myers in the art. I mean, I've been here 18 years now. What path do you see it on? Do you feel like, and do you ever look at what's happening in a major market and go, oh, I wish I could be them? Or do you just...
I think the comparison it can be a great tool. It also can kind of hurt you because you have to really understand your market. We are growing a lot, which is great. And I have seen a lot of great changes. Of course, I like to use larger markets for inspiration, but I can't ever necessarily compare us because there's a lot of different factors in there. But I am excited to see how we've been growing. I mean, we went from having an art walk where we would maybe have a couple hundred people come in for a night to thousands of people on an art walk night, and then people coming in throughout the time. We're seeing actual investment in public arts, which is wonderful, seeing sculpture and murals and things like that downtown. Innovation Walk is coming that's got some installations. So we're seeing some investment there, and especially in the city of Fort Myers. I will say the city has really been very forward thinking as far as arts goes and trying to spread what resources they have. So I'm excited, since we're in Ward 4, that we're really getting to see some of that happening in the city limits itself.
And you nailed it. I mean, there's been major changes already about how the city has actually gotten into the arts a lot more than they used to be.
Yeah.
I'm seeing big changes there as well, especially going around and seeing things like Mural Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Very nice job.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
So we hope to bring that back again next year.
Yeah. I'm sure it will. And, how about this, though? Let's just, because we have so many snowbirds, we have so many people that just visit the area. If you were going to the Sidney Berne Davis Art Center for the very first time, what's the experience like?
Well, it's different depending on each day. But
Okay.
if you're coming in during the week, on most weeks, you're going to come in and go, what is this building? It's so beautiful and grand. You don't even know what you're walking into. And then the first thing we always tell people is to look up when they walk into our lobbies, because it's an actual historic space with beautiful carved plaster ceilings that are really delicately restored to their original quality. Then we tell people we're not a museum, we're an art center, because that's something that a lot of people don't necessarily understand. But it gives us a lot of flexibility because it means that our programming can be evolving and changing. We don't have a permanent collection per se. We get to change our shows monthly. And we have 2 shows that change monthly. We actually have, I think, over 22 exhibits every year between both galleries, which is a Herculean effort on behalf of our curator, who's sitting right next to me. So everything changes and is constantly in flux, which is exciting, and it is challenging as well. We always tell people to take a look at the galleries. We also have, on the way walking to our elevator, we actually have a permanent historic exhibition that details how the building came to be, basically through the photographs that were found in the National Archives. The building was built in the 1930s as a precursor to the WPA. So it was designed to put people to work during the Great Depression. And so we have records of all of how it was constructed, what materials were used, photos. And so it's something that people sometimes miss on their way to the elevator to see the Capitol Gallery. But I think
I've been there tons and I've missed it.
Well, when you're waiting in line for the bathroom or for the elevator, make sure you take a look at the photos that are there, because they show some amazing technique. They show construction. We have pieces from all different types of the construction, and there's even some pieces that have just been lost from the building's history. The next thing we like to do is tell people to look at our entire history board. So in our lobby, it details, of course, what I just talked about, but it also shows you the building was built as a post office, then it became a courthouse. We're actually in its 3rd life, which is excellent. But it's also been a very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's been a journey that's not been easy. Because it was originally built as one thing, and then it was converted, and then it was converted again.
I heard somebody say that, just random. I didn't correct them. They're like, "This used to be a jail."
Well, there
were holding
is
cells.
true?
So it wasn't a jail, but it did have holding
Oh,
cells.
for the courthouse.
For the courthouse,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
So, and we actually have saved. So this isn't something that most people get to see, but we saved a few pieces from the holding cells, and they are in our green room for our artists that are visiting and performing. We have a stainless jail bench.
Oh, wow.
And we also have a stainless toilet sink combo for our performers to use.
Performers.
Because we really like to take great care of them,
Obviously.
So yeah.
So what is okay, let me ask you another one in that same respect of the history of it. What is the truth? Or do you even know? Maybe you've experienced it.
Okay.
Is it haunted? Are there ghosts?
I will tell you, I have been in the building all times of the day and night. I have not had an encounter. I don't know that means it is or it isn't. I know other people on staff that have had encounters. So if it is, I will just say that I think it's a friendly ghost because they seem to be, it's not, it doesn't seem to be anything. Yeah, I think it's a good energy in the art center. I'll say
or
that.
At worst, it's a snobby art ghost.
Yeah,
because we
who
have
knows?
captured stuff on the cameras that is hard to explain.
A snobby art ghost where they're messing up the bad ones, like get that out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are falling that cannot explain how the artist can falling down.
There's been a few things that have been, but at the same time, there are also some stories that people tell that make me laugh because I just know they're not true. One of them, somebody said that, oh, well, you guys have a basement, which is true. We do have a basement. They're like, yes, people used to keep bodies down there because it was cold. I'm like, you've obviously never been to our basement because it's one of the warmest places in the building.
Is that where Pee Wee Herman's bike is? It's in the basement of the Alamo. But no, there is some great things that maybe some people don't know about, and I don't know how it gets utilized. You have the studios upstairs.
Yes.
And is that available to the public?
So it is available, but I will tell you that the studios themselves are more of a piece of our educational programming.
Okay.
So we're actually in the process of kind of revamping them a little bit. So we will have a podcast space in there, but they're not ideal for album recording.
Right.
They are ideal for all of our students to practice, do multiple lessons at the same time within a space in different instruments, have a podcast space. So there's a lot of great uses for that. And we actually call them the Six Finger Studios because when we were peeling back all those different layers of history, we'll go with history, we found these handprints on the ceiling of the Capitol Gallery, and they all have six fingers.
Interesting. That's a fun way to leave a mark.
Yeah.
Actually, you can still go and see those prints because they were preserved.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another thing you've learned here on Behind the Brush.
The more you know.
And another thing, too, is the amazing, beautiful rooftop bar. And it's just some of the best sunsets. It really is. And the music that goes on up there. I was just there 2 nights ago. It was a Latin band. They were just phenomenal. So tell me a little more about that and how people can, is it open all the time?
So over the summer, we actually have reduced hours just because of the heat and the weather. It's very, very weather dependent because it is strictly open air. There's no cover really except for the small area under the bar.
Yeah.
But people can come and enjoy the beautiful views no matter the time of day. As long as it's not rented for a private event, you can go up. We also are in the process of acquiring additional sculptures because we wanted it to be a space that is also something that is art focused. We didn't want it to just be like a normal bar or something. So we've got a few sculptural installations. We have actually an amazing ensemble mural around our spiral stair. Yeah. Paradise City, right?
Paradise City.
Yeah. We've got some art actually in the space, that lives there permanently. And Cesar and I are talking about ways to add to our collection there, that will be sustainable and really enjoyable. But we also, we like to focus on having live music. We also use the space to provide fun and approachable ways for people to learn and enjoy art. So a lot of that is actually in the context of dance and social dance. So we have lessons for Latin dance, different types of dance, bachata, salsa, things like that. We have.
I did a paint class.
Yeah, we did wine and paint up there, I think. Yeah.
I hosted one there.
Oh, yeah, you did one. Yes.
And they do that on, is that just once a month on Wednesday nights after art walk? Is it or it's the last Wednesday of the month?
Third Wednesday?
Third Wednesday of the
Third
month.
Wednesday of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah. And does that go all year?
It does, but the roof it has to be a very specific project because it is very weather dependent. If it's a really windy day, we can't do it because then you have paint blowing all over the place and, so. But I would just say check out the website. If you want to come to the roof and you want to know what's coming on at night, check out the website. It's got the schedule, so yeah.
And it's so many things. There's so many weddings and proms and all these events that happen down there. I mean, is that schedule stay booked? And can people book their wedding? And how far in advance would they have to even?
I think we're booking into 2027 right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It is impressive. And the big thing that I like to explain about the rentals is they are a great subsidy to help support all of our programs. That's why we do them.
Yeah.
Is all of the revenue that comes in for those items or for beverage sales at the Art Center supports our programs. So we can do arts education and we can keep our galleries free and we can have lower ticket prices or offer student tickets. So that's really why we do these things, to help offset our costs and really provide us extra revenue. So
yeah. And Cesar, you have some questions there that are probably eating away at you.
Well, one thing that I want to know, because you've been with the Art Center for so long, so you've seen so many art pieces, you've been to so many of the events, you've seen so many of the concerts. So is there one in particular that's always stay with you, or like you never forget about it?
You have to pick a genre, and then I'll be more specific.
Let's say start with art.
Okay, art.
An art piece that you can never forget that one.
I do have one for art. So there's a lot of them, and when you say that, a bunch of things come to my head. But there's one piece. We did a show for artists with disabilities, and it was artists with visual impairment. And there was a woman that worked on Braille paper.
Wow.
And she had this big eye that she did on Braille, and she was visually impaired. And something about that piece and that show, it was actually a partnership with the Lighthouse for the Blind, I believe. Were you with us at that one?
No, that was
okay.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah, but that piece was just really impactful, especially in the context of that show. So that would be art piece. I will also say Bradford did a really cool installation for our Raining Art juried exhibition with the umbrellas. That one I was thinking about too. So yeah,
I loved Bradford Herman's ants. That went all the coconut ants.
Yeah.
It probably brings back bad memories for setting up and tearing it down, but it was absolutely amazing.
What about a concert?
I would have to say, oh man, there's a lot of them. But actually this season, in Bluegrass, we did a concert with Michael Cleveland and Jason Carter, who was previously with the Traveling McCourys and Del McCoury Band. Two of the greatest fiddlers in the world playing on stage, and they normally play to audiences of thousands, and they were playing to an audience of 250 people.
Wow.
And so it was amazing.
Yeah, a very intimate evening with some very talented people there. Coming up, we have some great things even over the summer. We have I believe we have the annual jury show, which is coming up. When is it, Cesar?
So every year we have a juried exhibition. We select 3 celebrity judges, and this exhibition is an open call. So every year we change the theme. This year is pop culture, icons and idols. So the deadline's coming soon on the 23rd.
The 23rd. Wow.
Yeah.
Literally less than 10 days away. I don't even know what day it is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so have you gotten good interest in this one already?
Artists always wait to the last moment, so not yet.
That's the truth. And what else do we have over the summer?
We have camps.
Yeah?
So many summer camps, which is wonderful. We've got visual arts camps. We have some culinary arts. We have a fashion week. We have a strings week. So,
is it too late to get signed up?
No, it's not.
Okay.
We still have spots. A lot of the weeks are starting to fill up. So, and they're usually age based. So we keep groups together in the right ages. Our camps are nice and small groups. So we're not having 100 kids at one time. It's like a group of 25 or something. So it's really a unique experience for the kids. So, yeah. I
love it. Well, Devon, thank you so much for joining us. Devon, the executive director of the Sidney Berne Davis Art Center in downtown Fort Myers, for taking your time to be here on Behind the Brush. And is there anything else before we wrap it up? Or anything else you need to
Oh, I don't know. I will say supporting arts and arts institutions is integral. So make sure you come out to shows, buy art, attend concerts, show that you're support, become members, just be involved, because that's the lifeblood of our organizations. We are here to be adding to the community. We are economic drivers, but we need the community to continue to be involved. So that would be the biggest thing I would say, is just get involved.
How do people become a member while you're talking on that note?
It's a great question. You can actually just join online. Our membership program is actually a wonderful way to get benefits throughout the state. We're members of reciprocal programs, so you get member benefits at other institutions like the Dolly. If you're at a higher level membership, I think you get free entry there. You get entry to all kinds of different places. I think if you are on that higher level and you get the NARM membership, you get to go to the Frick in New York and all kinds of different places. So become a member of your local institution and get to enjoy it throughout the country.
That's phenomenal. Well, is that good? Are
we
good? Awesome.
Yeah, we're good.
Well, thank you so much for going behind the brush with us here as we paint on the whole scene of the Southwest Florida art scene. And next week, sitting in that chair will be Neil Voles from the Alliance for the Arts down here, another new director, and we're excited to have him. But thank you so much. That was very insightful about all the history. There's so much I didn't even know.
Yeah, come on in. We'll give you a little tour.
I love it. This is the Behind the Brush. You can go to beyondthebrush.art and check it out. And don't forget to follow us, like us, share it online, anywhere that you get your podcasts. And a big thanks to Podcast Playground for making sure that it's all edited and sounding nice, so I don't have to do that. And so we'll see you next week. Keep painting on a great part of the Southwest Florida art scene.